Roll up, roll up, roll up. Another workout in the house. Today we are so what I want to make sure, guys, is that we come back to those stabilization exercises that we've done in the beginning of the program, and those are the holds. So what often is neglected or is not done. Make sure my video is right. That's not done correctly is training the core and training muscles in the way that they were designed to. And there are some muscles that are designed to be working constantly and are not as strong, which would be like your endurance muscles, like your type 1 type muscles, compared to your strength, your power muscles, like such as your legs and stuff like that. We know those ratios are different. But we want to train the core as the job that it does. And the role of the core is to hold us upright, right? Our anti-gravity muscles, which I like to talk about, which are, so the muscles, right, that hold us up. And if we neglect those muscles, we often see them in older population, in the geriatric population, they call it the Dahlwager's hump. I know my grandmother had that. Is because they've neglected those muscles. And again, if we neglect a muscle for long enough, it then atrophies to the point where it's gone. And I've seen these in a lot of my clients where I'll actually, and usually I find it right here in these muscles here from that of separation, those rhomboids, where I'll be poking them, I'll say, contract this muscle right here. And they literally, I should be able to do that? Yeah, if I touch here, right, I can actually contract that muscle. And that's a good thing to do, especially the toes. And we'll talk about that later. A lot of people lose the ability to move their toes. But we want to hold these positions. So planks are huge, we want to, because it basically is what our muscles are trained for. And if all we're doing is constant sit-ups, and holding a 45-pound plate and training it like our legs and trying to just put size on it, we can actually reverse the role of what that and cause all kinds of dysfunction. So let's get right into it, guys. We'll do some static holds. These are the ones I took from Stuart McGill, who's basically a low back specialist. This dude is just low back disorders, how they come and how to overcome them. And if you do have low back stuff, guys, I recommend that you read his stuff. And of course, I had, after an accident, I was in Miami, talked about this. And we want to train these muscles. We want to get to the point where 2 minutes, we can hold that. And I actually use this as an assessment for my clients when I first started training them. And I found that some of my clients, 15 seconds, and they're done. And that's a result, too, of sitting in chairs for too long, right? Because if I'm sitting in a chair and it's supporting me, then those muscles aren't supporting me, and again, we're weakening them. 2 minutes is what we want to build this up to. Never want to exhaust these muscles, right? We're not going to failure. In fact, especially when we're in the beginning, if we take these muscles to failure and we start squatting and stacking the weight, we're going to run into all kinds of problems, right? If I start doing back squats and my core is fully exhausted, you're gonna slip a disc or something. So never taking it, always want to kind of take it so that we kind of have some gas in the tank. And then what we want to do is then look at, is there a difference between one side and the other? So we're gonna look at front to back, side, right side plank, left side plank, a sit-up hold, back extension hold, reverse hyper hold. In fact, Stuart McGill has found that if there's a 9-second difference, if I can hold this back extension up for a minute, but then when I go back to my sit-up hold or my side plank, and I can only do, 50 seconds? That is a bigger red flag than most the other things that they'll talk about of that you're going to run into a dysfunction. You're going to run into a problem. We want to make sure that there isn't any of those big differences. And it really goes with all parts of the body. And I know it's kind of hard for me to do that, but another assessment that I do with my clients is I take them right to single arm, single leg exercises, and let's see if there's a difference between your right side and left side of the body. And it's very surprising. You know, even a righty would be like, "Damn, I didn't know my left arm was stronger, my left leg," and you want to correct that right off the bat. Right off the bat. So, and you hear me talking about it when I'm doing these exercises and I'm laying there doing a leg lift, and I'm saying, "Hey." But I'm dead serious about that, guys. When you find a dysfunction like that or something that's asymmetrical, you need to fix that. And the way you do it is you put more time into that, right? So if I'm going to do 12 reps on that left side compared to the 8 reps or whatever until it catches up, and then I want to go right to balancing it. So I'll talk a little bit of a story about myself. So after my accident, I was pulling lordosis from my low back just being tense all the time. And so it pulled me in that, what they call that Donald Duck position, my ass out too much, exaggerated curvature of my spine. And then I went to a NSCA strength and conditioning seminar down in Boca Raton, Florida, and the guy, physical therapist, was talking about how to fix those, seeing a postural dysfunction, and then how to correct it, which basically means, hey, we need to stretch these tight muscles and then strengthen those weak ones, which is basically your ass and your lower abs that tuck, right? Most people are already in that. Active people will get this, right? I'm guaranteeing you, probably like 80% of most of the that you or anybody that you're going to come into is because from sitting so much, if they lose that curve. Well, what I did is that I started go like too much of it. So then I actually put myself in that position, right? And then once I get it, I'm like, all right, now I need to balance that. Once they're back to balance, guys, then whatever I do on this side, I do on this side. And I'm a firm believer as a strength coach, and if I had a son or a daughter or anything, if I throw 20 times to my right, 20 times to my left. And it's amazing how you hardly ever see that. Saw a picture the other day on Facebook where you could throw right and left, and people were just blown away by that. Hell yeah, smart coaching. Whoever, I'm sure it wasn't that kid, maybe his dad or whatever, but it's so true. I so many guys with pictures and stuff, guys, that I've trained over the years. There's a huge dysfunction, especially throwers. Man, I can see just, oh my God, you can see him almost twisted from that side, and so that, this internal oblique here is stronger than this one, and let's not get into it. But you get the picture. So, you probably find something a little bit more comfortable than this, right? And then I want to make sure I'm not dropping. So when I do this test, as soon as my client is dropping, the shoulder drops below the hips. Okay, you can have somebody hold your legs and then breathe in. Bring your intention into what you're doing and be fully focused. I had to turn the AC off because I didn't want it to be so noisy in here, but I'm going to probably be a sweaty crackhead mess. So like 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great way, like that move right there, and this next one, I love starting my, as a warm-up. It just seems to just kind of set my body right for what's to come, right? So let's get the back side. So let's go reverse hypers. And again, we're kind of working the same muscles here. You can go bent legs if you want, all right? So and you want to try to keep your knees higher than the table. let's grab a band, guys. If you don't have a long band, you can put like one of your mini bands on there and wake the hips up. For me, this is one of my favorite ways to get the glute medius, those side hips, just because it's just like, boom, I can just go throw this band on and get it. But if you're weak, so if this muscle is weak, right, which is, it's a muscle that moves my leg away from my body, other muscles will compensate. And so a lot of times what I'll see during this is that this leg is weak, and so that this part of your core is trying to do that leg lift. So you'll see like this. The core is stiff, right? Core is stiff. That's why we kind of, the planks in that are meant to hold this while I do this out here, right? That this isn't moving because there's really small movement. And I'm not, don't quote me on this, but I believe it's like only like 9 degrees of movement in our spine, right? So if I'm going past that, it's really putting a lot of pressures on my disc, and of course squeezing out all that gel-like stuff meant to protect our nerves that are contained within our spine. And then a lot of times it'll start pushing on our nerves, such as sciatica and things like that. So, what are we doing here? 4 steps to the right, 4 to the left, 4 times, right? If you want to get a little curl action, I never like to just sit and do bicep curls. To me, sitting here and this is a complete waste of time, right? And your biceps they work with everything else, especially your legs. So anything you can tie your legs in with those arms, guys, because you never want to be too big up top and weak on the bottom. Like I said, it's like building a magnificent house on a shitty foundation, and it's easy to topple over. All right? To me, when I see a monster-sized dude in the gym and his skinny-ass legs, especially knowing it's just, I look at him weak. That dude is weak, right? And I don't care how tough he is, I'm just going to keep slapping him because he's going to be so top-heavy, he's going to have a hard time, right? Just keeping his center of gravity. I think I probably did a little bit more. That's always good. All right, let's go back to these exercises. Guys, do not go, again, we're not going to fatigue. All right, I wish you could see this timer. 13. You know what? Let me do that. This way we can get a equal time. You know, trainers don't know how to count too well. Here we go. All right, let's shoot 45 seconds, huh? When you come out of this too, guys, don't twist up. Put your hands down on the ground and then come off of this. Because if your back is weak and you kind of come up, twist in, I've seen you people hurt themselves. Man, it's getting hot in here. That's 45. And then 45 for the legs, reverse hypers. So we call it reverse hyper extension, right? Hyper extension. 44, 45. All right. So we need the front part. I want to do normally you could go right and get your sit-up holds and stuff in, but I'm going to do a little bit of crunches off the ball today. Right. Always looking at 3 dimensions of the body, 3 different movements. Front to back, side to side rotation. Front, side, back, right? I always wonder, oh, man, I've been doing a ton of arms and hardly any legs. Wrong thing. And actually, that'd be the only thing I would recommend that you do more of is legs compared to anything else. Don't get me started. Let's grab a little reverse curl. Get those forearms in it. Then we can do a little hammer curl. I like hammer curls. Oh yeah. Whoops. One more each side. Guys, make sure feet and knees straight, right? All right. All right, all right. Let me blow your mind with this exercise right here. Let's see if you can see me. So, stability ball, man, I would say 8 pounds, 10 pounds. It's taken me a while time when I get up to 30, 40 pounds, dropping into the lower reps. But this right here will do. So we're gonna actually hit these muscles down here, which help pull those shoulder blades down and in, right? If you look at our traps, they look like a diamond. These are usually super overactive and tight, and these are underactive and weak, which help pull, right, those shoulders down and in, back, right, back and in. So we're gonna use our eye that we do when we do our shoulder series, and we're gonna put a twist on it. I like to use the stability ball, of course, using the wall to push my legs in it. Anytime I can use my legs to tie in my core, your legs literally initiate your core. Right? That's why the Pilates has turned into, damn, what do they call it now? I forget. But because Pilates is a great way to, and don't get me wrong, I'll use it myself after my back injury, but you don't tie your core in. And it's not natural. Your core is literally from your feet pushing into the ground. So anytime I can push my feet and start that movement, such as using a wall. Now, when I lift this arm up, it's gonna be tight and I'm looking over my back side, right? Make sure you don't pinch it in the shoulders. Keep that chest up, core locked, right? Don't come out here with it. You're gonna kill your shoulders, guys. Keep it tight to your body, all right? So, let's get 10 on each side. I'm sorry, let's get 15. I'm gonna find a weight. Let's really feel this. 4. Side. for round 2. All right. So the only thing I got in here, guys, that's heavy enough is that big old storage purple box over there in that corner for my rows, because I have the different types of bands. But I just rigged it up with a little band underneath there, the wheel, so I don't tear up anything. So we're gonna take our rows and we're gonna go from the side. So here, right? Do not rotate. I am not doing this. I'm literally reaching my hand out and coming in, and I'm stopping right there, okay? We do pull things from the side, right? And in case you ever know, most people in the gym are all sagittal and frontal. And what I feel is this opens yourself up. I love doing these on a TRX so that I'm like almost on a side plank and then pulling, right? Again, if my back was against the wall, this forearm, right, is never gonna come off that wall. If it comes off that wall, you're tearing your shoulders up, and you're gonna make a good exercise into a bad one. And I've had a lot of people talk to me about, oh, no, these, if done correctly, right, I have a ton of exercises that are just awesome, right? But if done incorrectly, so watch your form, guys. I want this band, I'm gonna double it up. So let's drop into like a little bit lower reps. So let's go 12-10, all right? And let's take it a little bit to failure, okay? So I'm gonna kind of get right where and find that band that I'm just struggling, but my form doesn't break, especially on these. So watch what I'm gonna do here. So now I've got it on a low setting. You don't need to, because I don't have anywhere else to really tie this thing off. All right? So what I like to do is, let's just stand here and go like this, right? Let's take it into a side lunge. Come up. You know how to go balance and then bang, right? So side lunge, balance. Or if I'm having trouble with balance, I'm just right here. 2, 3, and a little bit more. This is about to come off. There we go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The other side. So you can see me. Yeah, buddy. Make sure this doesn't come off. Or I'm going to get whipped. And I've had that happen before, and it's no fun. All right, guys, back to stability ball, shoulder eye with a twist. 15. Oh! You couldn't see me. All right, there we go. drop the mic. All right, so side lunge, side row. If you gotta adjust your resistance bands, guys, you know, maybe that first one was too easy or too heavy. I wouldn't really go any lower than 10 on this. I mean, there's certain, or the one we just did with the shoulder eye, of exercises that you really gotta be careful, you know, especially getting into the heavier weights. And so, like, just keeping those rep ranges high there. On some of those like exercises like these, where you really want to make sure, because again, one slip up and you might end up hurting yourself. So, all right, let's do this side first this time. You know what? Let's switch it up. So sit in that lunge first, and give me that row, right? It's a very small movement, guys, in case you can't see. And I feel like a lot of my clients just feel like, you know, they want to go more, so that's when they start rolling in. And again, this is another exercise. I let you get those low to mid traps. Get one more. Yeah, buddy. Right. And once that lunge is opened up, let's sit in it, right? So I'm going to do 12 just because this band's a little light for that for me. All right. Let's go ahead and get those crunches out of the way. Now with the ball, guys, I did it again. All right. Again, any way we can tie our feet into it. It literally, in this exercise too, you'll feel that core set in by pushing my feet in. Now you want to be careful. If you feel like it's unsafe, do not do it. Just do normal stability ball crunches. We're going to do a wall stability ball crunch. So, I am here, right? And I'm going to bury my feet like I'm trying to push this wall over with my feet, especially on the way down, because that's when most people lose it, right? So I'm here, find a spot just above your head, swallow a couple times, get the correct tongue pressure on the upper palate of the mouth. Oh yes, let's get 20. Yeah. Highlight those, right? Push those feet into the wall. Get it. All right, so let's go back. Let's get our, all right, so I don't have anything set up. I want to get that vertical pull. So we're gonna go down and we'll get our lat pulls, right? Since I have it on the low, right here. Again, I'm gonna switch my hand up. First one I'm gonna do palms facing each other, right? I'm gonna stop here, right? Like if I was doing a pull-up, just until it gets below my chin, so I don't roll my shoulders down, all right? That's why I like doing lat pulls on the ground, because you get yourself up in that cobra, because you see a lot of people doing that, right? That collapsing in. So this band is light for me. I'm gonna do 20. drop it down, like I say no less than 12. And when I got this band out here, I'm gonna grab it, pull it back so it almost feels like it's gonna drag me forward. If it's too loosey-goosey, then you're gonna have to scoot back more. So I'm gonna grab it. Man, I hope this thing doesn't come off. And then I want it to be pulling me already. Right? Nose pointed down, tip of the nose pointed down, and I'm here. Yeah, boy. Crunchies, crunchies, crunchies. Ah! Bury those feet in the wall, guy. Bury them up. All right. Nice, nice, nice. Lat Pulls. We're gonna finish this up, guys, with the pull matrix. Just to exhaust these muscles, get a little bit of cardio in there, and then number two, show you the best exercises for pull, right? Except for pull-ups, which we can't really do, but with dumbbells, again, functional exercises. All right, so switch your hand grip on these guys. Here, and then we can get into the matrix. Oh man, a little bit too much of a knot. We'll get that later. All right, guys. 3 planes, all pulls, nothing but dumbbells. 10 on each side, 20 total, everything alternating, okay? So that way we can get a little bit core in there. So all I got is 8s in here with me. You can use 5. You can use 10. If you were 15, you were a bad mother. All right, you ready? Curl up with the twist. All right, and then we're just gonna sit here, even though you're in the matrix. Let's balance, right? Tighten that core up. 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Right? Hey, if you're going too fast and you're all over the place and you're shaky and that knee is rolling in and out, slow it down. Right? Hammer curls. Other side. Ooh, the left side's a little shaky today. Usually it's the right. Every day is different, right? All right, rows. All right, if you're not there yet, bouncing here, then you're just going to be in that lunge position, back is straight. Good. So high row. Elbows up to the ceiling. Armpit row. Upright row. Don't let your elbows go higher than your shoulders. Good. Shrugs, right? Shrugs is a pull. The only thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do that, so let's go overhead shrugs, get those over with. This is more of a push, but we don't wanna neglect that. So dumbbells straight up. My dumbbells aren't going forward, they're not going backward, they're going straight up to the sky. Now, I don't know. And don't let that head go forward. When you guys are shrugging, this will kill you. Right? Especially if I got 100-pound dumbbells in my hand. Straight up, pulling straight up. Keep your chin tucked. And because the dumbbells are lighter, I wouldn't do these with heavy dumbbells, but run that around and back, right? There's a great way. What's a good cue? Set your shoulders right, bring them up, put them back, drop them down. Bam, that's where you want them, right? Nice. If you're feeling frisky, run through that again. All right, so let's hit our lunge matrix and then we'll stretch. All right, so forward, side, rotation, back, forward. Now, I think of some crazy ass shit when I'm doing exercising, because my mind is so into what I'm doing, and a lot of times you'll even see that in the video. I just kind of space out. And movement from the core, they always say every movement originates if I take my hips and connect right below my belly button. They call that your hara in India and your dantian in Asian philosophies. And if you look, and basically what it means is the sacred center. Makes you want to think, right? I got two different groups of people here in the world, and I'm not talking just one or two of them, and they believe that this is the sick. Yes, all movement originates here, right? And it's usually start from my legs, right? That's why that core is so important, right? So if I got my, which is your center of gravity, right? Your center of gravity lies right there, behind my skin, or my pelvis bowl, and in front, right, of my sacrum. Sacred, right? Don't get me started. Temples. So if I throw my center of gravity forward, where I go forward, there's always an equal and opposite force coming back. And if I can feel that, and roll with it, it's like moving effortlessly. Like a boomerang. Ooh, let's do that one again. And then catch it in my center. Throw it out. Catch it in my center. Throw it out. Catch it in my center. Throw it out. Catch it in my center. Throw it out, right? Catch it in my center. If I don't let it catch in my center, and I let it too far, I'm right, not in a good position. That's what a keto is all about. That's why I love a keto, because it's teaching me my center of gravity, and more so how I can manipulate somebody else's. Catch it. Feel it. Catch it. Feel. Right? Bruce Lee always has a quote. He said, feel, don't think. Right? I want to feel the movement. I want to think about it. Feel it. Right? And if I can feel all that stuff, if I can feel what it feels like to accomplish my goal, you're more likely, yes, writing it down is huge and is a step above the people that don't, but feeling it, right? For me, my dream has always been to talk a lot like seminars, lectures, because I knew how important like that physical therapist was. It was like God's honest, like a blessing. I was praying. I was in the most miserable part of my life after that accident, guys. 22 years old and moving like a 90-year-old person. I didn't know if I needed to get surgery. I didn't know if my career that I was just done moving, right? And I thought I was gonna be like literally with walker and all that stuff. It was a mess. And the first guy he lordosis, and I was like, holy shit, that's me. You know, and so I always just see myself lecturing and talking, helping as many people as I possibly can. And so if I could get into it and feel what it would be like if I just gave this awesome lecture and I came off of there and my mom is there and my brother, and they're like, dude, awesome job, man. What would that feel like? If soccer is my passion and I want to be a professional soccer player, what would it feel like to know that I made that pro team? Because when you can feel it, oh man, that opens up a whole different thing. Not alone just visualizing, which I'm a huge fan of too, but if I can feel it. And Bruce Lee, very smart man, let alone in movement, but also in life. Again, the carryovers of this, movement and the physical body. And when that's the start of everything. That's the foundation. That's like the back extension exercises that we did. It starts there first. It really does. And fully engaged like that. It is a meditation for me. That's why you'll see me just skip out. I'm like, people think about, dude, this dude's thinking about throwing this thing. And I don't know if you've ever seen Donnie Darko. Did you ever see that? That movie where this black mask comes out of him and it's like leading him. It's so true with the body, right? Everything starts here. If I lead from that body right here, watch how crazy stuff gets, right? How easy it gets, but it takes time and practice. So rather than to disregard stuff, that's what I never did in my life. I was always like, let me try it for myself. Holy shit, it works. Use it. It doesn't work, get rid of it. Just like everything else in life. If you realize that watching TV is your downfall, throw your freaking TV out. Bruce Lee always talks about Successful people hack away at the unnecessary things in life. They get rid of the stuff that they know that doesn't work instead of doing them over and over again. And I don't want to be a hypocrite here. I've done that a lot myself. And it is so true. Hack away at the unessential and you'll get there a lot. Get rid of the stuff that you know is not working, right? And use the stuff that you know that does. And by God's honest truth, try different things. You know, I always believe a good teacher points you, and it just doesn't tell you what to do, kind of leads you, guides you, and guides you smartly so that you figured it out. Bruce Lee always says that. Don't get in a set, established way of doing things. If I might give you a couple tidbits of information and it connects, but the other stuff that I'm talking about, guys, everybody's different. A cue that I'm saying might not work for you, but maybe something that you... And I love hearing that from my clients. I learn more from my elementary kids and my students than I do a lot of times from, and that's why I'll never give up teaching, because of that reason alone. So, guys, namaste. Hey, and if you want to keep getting this workout, do a couple more rounds of the matrix, get some stretching in, especially that neck, eat healthy. Feed the body right. Think of food as an energy source, not as just tasty or, right? This is a battery. I want to store energy. I don't want to give it away. If I eat an Oreo cookie, I'm using energy and it's giving me nothing. It's like a bad relationship, right? Get the hell out of there, right? I put a cup of kale in my thing. Holy shit. Look at hey, I don't care that kale tastes like ass. It's like putting dirt in my mouth. If you look at the nutritional value in it, hey man, put some Frank's Red Hot on there and find a way to get it in and get it in. Because it is like giving you way more compared to that little bit of chewing that you have to do to get it down, right? So namaste, y'all. I'll see you soon.